I'd like to call to order the Wilson County Commission meeting of May the 16th, 2022, and welcome all of our guests that are with us today, and ask you to come back at any opportunity that you may have. This time I'd like to introduce Commissioner Breeze for the prayer and pledge.
Good evening. I would like to welcome Reverend Regina Guertin and Jamie Tyner this evening. Reverend Regina Guertin is the pastor of outreach at Providence United Methodist Church. As a pastor within the Methodist Church, Regina works alongside local, regional, and global partnerships. Her role is ensuring that we build bridges within the community and seeking to respond to the needs of our community and the world, while equipping the congregation to serve within their daily lives. Jamie Tyner is the local good coordinator at Cross Point Church in Mount Juliet. She connects members of Cross Point to people and organizations in the community and also partners with local organizations to support the good being done in our county. When Wilson County was hit on March 3rd, 2020 by the tornado, these two amazing women stepped up and they formed Recover Wilson, which is now the long-term recovery group for Wilson County. The group is comprised of community leaders from across the county who work together to support disaster survivors and to seek to ensure that all survivors are served equitably to full recovery. When the county was struck again by tornadoes on December 11th, 2021, Jamie and Regina were instrumental in being able to provide assistance to those that had damage in my district. They coordinated groups from as far as California to come in and help cut down trees and rebuild homes in my district and assist residents so they could recover. So it's my honor and privilege to have them both here tonight, open our meeting in prayer, and to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please rise.
Will you pray with me? O Lord, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, thou who art our strength and our Redeemer. God, I give you thanks today for each leader gathered in this space. I thank you for their gifts and their talents that you have guided them into this space to be able to serve our community. I ask God tonight that all of the words of their mouths and the meditations of their hearts be acceptable in your sight, that you would continue to build bridges within this community to provide not only unity, but ability for all to be served equitably. I ask that as they continue to discuss the ways in which we can better serve our community, that you would give them wisdom, that you would give them courage, that you would give them a voice that would be one that binds them together in your love. We thank you, God, for all of the amazing things that you are doing within Wilson County, the growth that is before us, but God, we know that comes with many challenges. I know those many challenges lay heavy on their hearts and on their shoulders, and I ask that, God, you continue to be a God that is one of peace, of unity, of restoration, of clarity, and one that continues to point us towards your most heavenly Father, to bring your kingdom here on earth as it is in heaven. It's in your Son's most holy and precious name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ladies, if y'all would stay there for just 1 second. You can be seated in the back. I would say this, or love to brag on these two ladies. You know, I always hear of the 109 divide, and that's talked about with a lot of our older folks. But when it came time for the tornado and it happened here, we had several groups that were out working. I know Commissioner Glover and some of them, really, and Commissioner Dow and all the emergency services here were really scrambling to try to figure out how to make things happen and get people together. And these two ladies right here really stepped up, and they pulled two recovery groups, one out of 11 and one out of Mount Juliet, together in what is known as Recover Wilson. It is, and Lauren said that, it's a bigger deal than you really think, because they continue to prepare and help our emergency services people here bridge that gap. So I do appreciate what both of you have done. I will say this as well with Miss Pastor Regina, with Providence Methodist. If you don't have a church, it's a great church to go to. I don't know if I can say that or not out loud, so I'll just take it back. But I've already said it. You can say it. But they do a tremendous job of feeding the people across Wilson County. They have people every Sunday bring food in, and they make sure they get it to the right people. And so they're much more than just a church, which is very important, but they do a lot of outreach. So thank you both for what you do. Appreciate that. Thank you. If you will, at this time, press yes on your panel to record your presence at tonight's meeting. Costly, yeah.
Can't see it. Can't see it. No.
21 present and 4 out. Okay. I don't know if we can cut the light or not to make that. Can we make that any better, A? I got you. Okay.
That's better. Still can't.
That was good.
After the presentation, you can make it better for me? Thank you, sir. Okay. Report from the steering committee, Commissioner Patton.
The steering committee met on Thursday, May the 5th, 2022, in the upstairs conference room. Minutes are in your packet. I move they be received and filed.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Adoption of the agenda.
Motion to adopt the agenda.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. And consent agenda.
Motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Only have one speed limit here, so I got a motion to hear a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Public hearing at this time. I'll ask Mr. Tom Bashir to come forward and lead us in that. I do believe we need a motion to go out of session.
Motion, go out of session.
All in favor say aye. Aye.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have two public hearings to submit tonight for public hearing. The first one is as follows. A public hearing will be held before the Wilson County Commission on Monday, May 16th, 2022 at 7 p.m. or thereafter in the County Commission Room of the Wilson County Courthouse, located here at 228 East Main Street in Lebanon, Tennessee. The items for consideration include an application that's been submitted by Paul Crockett, representing property owner Larry Clemens, to rezone approximately 3.5 acres from A1 agricultural zoning to C3 highway commercial. The property is located at 1715 Murfreesboro Road and is referenced by Wilson County Property Map 92, parcel 48.01. A copy of this request is on file in the Wilson County Development Services office or planning division downstairs in the basement, and has been there through the review period, and also located here at the courthouse at 228 East Main Street. The rezoning request will be heard on final reading by the County Commission following the public hearing. Anyone desiring to comment is requested to attend or come forward at this time.
Anyone here wishing to speak on the property at 715 Murfreesboro Road? Seeing none, we'll proceed.
Okay. The next item I have for a public hearing is similar to the last one. It will be held here at the County Commission Room at 228 East Main Street on May 16, 2022 at 7 p.m. or thereafter in the County Commission Room. The application has been made by Fifi Girgis to rezone approximately 10.7 acres from A1 agricultural to C2 general commercial. The property is located at 4421 Murfreesboro Road and is further referenced as Wilson County Property Map 124, parcel 3.06. A copy of the request has been on file in our office in the basement at the Development Services Office Planning Division, and has been available for inspection during regular business hours. The rezoning request will be heard on final reading by the County Commission following the public hearing. Anyone desiring to comment is requested to come forward at this time.
Anyone wishing to speak on the property 4421 Murfreesboro Road? Step forward, state your name and address for the record. Seeing none, we'll close public comment period then, and I need a motion to go back into session.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Tom?
The first item is an application that's been made by Paul Crockett, representing property owner Larry Clemens, for property located at 1715 Murfreesboro Road. The rezoning request is to go from the current A1 agricultural zoning to C3 highway commercial. The property is further referenced as Wilson County Property Map 92, Parcel 4801, consisting of approximately 3.54 acres. And it is being forwarded to the County Commission with a positive recommendation from the City of Lebanon's Regional Planning Commission, which they recommended approval at their April 26, 2022 Planning Commission meeting. This is in the City of Lebanon's planning region.
Commissioner Scruggs,
I have no problem with it going through. I'm good with it.
is that a motion?
Make a motion for it.
Any discussion now?
I don't have, I want to make a comment when you get through.
Yes, sir.
Just want to get it on the map, Tom, you know, you updated on the planning, land use plan. When this
Yes,
gets
sir.
approved, you're going to put it on the map.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any other discussion?
I-
All in,
I should mention, I do need to respond to that. It's not in our planning region, so it's not going to affect our land use plan map. It's in the City of Lebanon's planning region. It affects their land use plan map.
any other comments? Ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed? Let the record reflect it was unanimous. Mr. Tom?
Next item comes to you with a positive recommendation from the Wilson County Planning Commission, as this is in the Wilson County Planning Region. This next request is. Application has been submitted by property owner Fifi Girgis to rezone her property located at 4421 Murfreesboro Road from A1 agricultural to C2 general commercial. The property is referenced as Wilson County Property Map 124, Parcel 3.06, and consists of approximately 10.7 acres. This does come to you with a positive recommendation from the Planning Commission to rezone the property from A1 agricultural to C2.
Commissioner Ash?
Mr. Chairman, it did come out of the Planning Commission. I don't have a recommendation myself personally, one way or the other. I just know that the short sentence I heard from the buyer was it was going to put a welding shop in, and I believe, Tom, that would require another hearing before the Board of Zoning Appeals. Is that right?
That is correct, sir. Their reason or their stated intent for this rezoning request on their application was that they wanted to establish a welding shop on the property, which is a listed use permissible upon appeal in the zone district. So the only place it's allowed outright is in an industrial district. C2 does allow this type of use as a use on appeal. Therefore, they requested the C2 being the less, I guess, noxious in terms of use listings that are allowed in the zoning ordinance for the C2 versus the I1 or I2 district that it would otherwise have to go in. So they are requesting to be allowed to get C2 zoning so that they can then proceed to the Board of Zoning Appeals with a request to, I guess, establish a welding shop on the property.
Do not have a recommendation from the district commissioner in that area, so I'll need a motion before I can move forward.
Motion to approve.
Any other discussion? Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No.
One opposed?
I'm going to say no, too.
I'm gonna say no too.
I got 3 noes.
The vote's been cast.
Rezoning passes. You're good, Mr. Tom?
I am. That concludes my business before you this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Report from the Minutes Committee. Commissioner Bishop.
The Minutes Committee met here at the courthouse at 5:30 on May the 5th with 4 members present. Minutes of the April Commission meeting were approved as printed in your packet. I make a motion that this report be received and filed.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed? Reading of the minutes.
Make a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes.
Any discussion? Commissioner Kurtz.
I don't have any discussion on that, Mayor, but I don't know if we skipped the,
I'm going to cover that, but thank you, though. Yeah, because a lot of times I would miss something. Thank you. All in favor say aye on the reading of the minutes. Kind of weak.
Yep.
Okay. At this time, I would like to ask Commissioner William Glover to come forward to make a presentation, please.
Any WEMA personnel, if y'all want to come on up.
Any WEMA personnel, if you could come forward at this time.
As they are coming up, Commissioner Dow, last day was today at 3 p.m. So appreciate his service to the city of Lebanon and to our county. Whereas emergency medical services are a vital public service, and the members of the emergency medical service teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And emergency medical services have grown to fill a gap by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventive medicine, follow-up care, and access to telemedicine. And the emergency medical service system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatch, firefighters, police, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And the members of the emergency medical service teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And it is appropriate to recognize and value the accomplishments of emergency medical service providers by designating Emergency Medical Service Week now. Therefore, Mayor Randall Hutto, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of May 15th through 21st, 2022 as Emergency Medical Services Week. With the theme of EMS, caring for our communities, I encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities.
All in favor, say aye. Thank you all for what you do, and I know you've been through the ringer over the last couple of years. At this time, I would like to let you know that after the meeting tonight, we will read a proclamation out on the front steps to honor cystic fibrosis. So we encourage all of you to come out there if you have the opportunity. The courthouse will be lit in purple tonight and for the rest of the month for that recognition. I would also tell you that Will Smith will be added to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board to replace Rachel Sinclair, who left the board moving to North Carolina. This time I'd like to ask Ms. Susan Shaw to come forward. I felt like there's times that you probably need to know the work that's being done. This is not with your tax dollars, by the way, but definitely with a chance of community service type events. The one here is Drug-Free Wilco. And Susan, if you guys will come on up and stand in the front here. Susan will just make a quick presentation, but I want you to know what she's doing or they're doing to help our full community out. And while they're on their way, nope, she's ready.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the Commission and everybody in the county. I'm pleased to be here talking about Drug-Free Wilco, and I brought two of my colleagues with me here. I will introduce, this is Charlotte Busher on our board and Daryl Sigler of the PIC Center. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on Drug-Free Wilco, a short update, and then just go into the programs briefly. So Drug-Free Wilco started as a grassroots coalition in 2018, and it was triggered by the death of one of our county residents, Mr. Thomas Tapley, who overdosed from accidental fentanyl that was in pain pills. In 2020, Drug-Free Wilco was organized as a nonprofit. The nonprofit's mission is to prevent and reduce drug misuse and addiction among youth and adults through education, communication, and an awareness of resources. Our vision is for a hopeful, healthy, and engaged Wilson County. The coalition meetings are the fourth Wednesday of every month via Zoom at or at the Wilson County Courthouse. Our board of directors is made up of 7 individuals. Captain Scott Moore is our chairperson. I'm co-chair at this time. Our treasurer is Corporal Matt McPeak, an SRO. Our secretary is Sheila Raymond with the Wilson County Schools. Our meeting facilitator is Jessica Stanley of the Metro Drug Coalition. Our directors are Javen Cripps, Assistant District Attorney of the 15th Judicial District, and Charlotte Busher from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. Becoming a nonprofit allowed Drug Free Wilco to hire staff. Our executive director is Tammy Groh, and we have part-time prevention coordinator now, Ms. Julie Draper. To give you a little picture of what is of the drug overdose deaths in Tennessee, in 2020 there were over 3,000 deaths from overdose. And as you can see from the chart, looking over those 5 years, it dramatically escalated in 2020, and that shows in Tennessee. But the next slide, this shows the overdose deaths in Wilson County. And in 2020, there were 79 drug overdose deaths. 72 of those were due to opioids. And of those, 62 involved fentanyl. Fentanyl has definitely been on the increase in the last couple of years, and it's fatal. So you can see that there is a need for the programs with Drug Free Wilco. And one of the grants that we had was the Community Health Improvement Grant from Vanderbilt University Medical Center. This allowed us to distribute naloxone flyers and 15,000 prescription bags to pharmacies and to support naloxone trainings. This is something that will help prevent overdose. It will prevent overdose deaths in an overdose situation. Let me correct myself. So this is a picture of what is on the pharmacy bags, and they are distributed through pharmacies in all 3 of our cities, Watertown, Lebanon, and Mount Juliet. One of our earlier grants that we had access to was the Comprehensive Opioid Abuse Program from the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse. This allowed us to do a mapping workshop to identify the gaps within the criminal justice system where people were flowing through and how they could be better helped with resources. So we developed the PIC Center, and this is Preventing Incarceration in Communities, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a minute. We are also doing education for business and schools, and thanks to Jeff Luttrell, we've been able to get into the Wilson County schools this year. We also were able to put in place a jail-based reentry specialist in the jails, and we did all of that through RFPs, requests for proposals. Cedar Recovery and Volunteer Behavioral Health won those awards. So to tell you a little bit more about the PIC Center, because this is something that is really brand new, and it's about 6 months old at this time. Drug Free Wilco worked closely with the DA's office and the public defender's office, sheriff's office, and basically all around the criminal justice system, as well as treatment providers. Daryl Sigler is our director of the PIC Center, and the mission is to, as it says here, to decrease the crime rate, reduce recidivism, and combat the opioid crisis in Wilson County for first-time nonviolent drug crime offenders. So the way it works is the DA's office, when a person kind of gets into the system, the DA's office refers eligible participants to the PIC Center for assessment. And that eligibility has been worked out beforehand with the DA's office. The PIC Center staff then does the assessment and recommends a level of care and refers the client to a treatment provider. Through that time period, the staff monitors the progress and reports to the DA regularly. If at any point the participants are not working within the program, they go before a judge, and the judge has the ability to decide what the next step is, whether they stay in the program or not. Upon successful completion of the program, which is basically 6 months, that's the intent, the client graduates and may have continued contact with the PIC Center for up to a year, depending on their needs. So as of April 30th, and the program started in November, as of April 30th, 16 individuals are enrolled in the PIC Center. 1 person refused, and 1 is about to graduate. Refusal means that they're back in, I guess, jail, whatever the judge deems for them. But one is about to graduate. So we've been really monitoring this and reviewing it carefully to see how it's progressing, and it seems like at this point it's doing what it's intended to do. So hopefully it's helping people. Just real briefly, the Drug-Free Communities Grant is what really put us on the map. It's a 5-year grant. It allowed us to hire the executive director, and we're focused on alcohol, vaping, tobacco products, and prescription drugs and opioids to prevent and reduce youth substance use in Wilson County. And to that end, one of our best vehicles here, and something we're very proud of, is what's called YPC Wilco. This is the youth division of Drug-Free Wilco. And Jillian Fearmeister won the Governor's Volunteer Star Award a couple of years ago for actually starting this. She really stepped up as a high school student and brought the unit into the high school. Just last week, YPC Wilco from the Lebanon High School went to 2 schools and did assemblies with hundreds of students from 6th to 8th grade on the risks in vaping products. The last grant that we were the recipient of was the Rural Communities Opioid Response Program. We were able to conduct a full needs assessment, and from that we determined, and we were able to help provide medicated assisted treatment for the uninsured, transportation to treatment, an OD map for real-time overdose data that helps make decisions, and it helped us to put up billboards with messaging to help in our communication efforts, and the website for additional resources. So I hope this presentation helps to show you that there is hope and recovery is possible, and Drug-Free Wilco is helping to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Susan, for that presentation. And just as Sheriff Ash a long time ago did SROs for the schools, and I was talking to T.O. Cragwall today about his daughter with pushing for nurses in the school, this impact here has a large impact across our county, and everybody is affected by it. And so if you have any needs or helps or suggestions, please contact Susan in her office, and she does as you can tell, has a passion for this, so thank you for doing that. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Commissioner McFarland, you have an announcement that you wanted to make?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll steal a microphone here if I can. Next Tuesday night, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow night, we're going to have, Planning and Zoning Committee is going to have a workshop in here. Another commission I met with the Corps of Engineers last 2 weeks ago, and the whole point of this is we're having rain events we hadn't had before. We're having flooding locations we never had before in this community and all around. If you saw the other night, Jeremy Finley did an excellent article on about a 20-minute run on all the different flooding events that's taking place, and the roads getting washed out and houses are getting flooded, that type of thing. So the Corps is going to come up. They're going to bring Craig Carrington, who is the chief planner, and also 2 of the hydrologists, and they're going to give us a briefing in this room a week from tomorrow night, the 24th at 5 o'clock, and talk about what they do and how they can calculate flooding and all that sort of thing. And then it's kind of up to the county to partner with them. So what I want to do now is just extend an invitation to everybody on the commission. Bobby's going to try to drag in the Mount Juliet people, bring them, and the Watertown people, Mr. Mayor. And let's just see if we can get something positive going, because we're having events now that we've never had before, and we need to do something about mitigation. So next Tuesday night at 5 o'clock. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Fields? Ms. Brooks, Latricia Brooks is in her back here. She's running for Congress. Could I borrow your jacket for your blanket for tonight? Thanks for being here.
Resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Wilson County, Tennessee, honoring and expressing appreciation to the Boy Scout Troop 150, the Mount Juliet High School Marine Corps JROTC program, and to the Green Hill High School Army JROTC program. Whereas on Saturday, April 2nd, 2022, Boy Scout Troop 150, the Mount Juliet High School Marine Corps JROTC program, and the Green Hill High School Army JROTC program assisted the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 281 in delivering and distributing over 2,200 trees from 4 Penske trucks beginning at 6:30 a.m. and FEU and non-military at 0630 hours, and continuing until all trees were picked up around 1:30 p.m. That's 13:30 hours. And whereas for the Mount Juliet JROTC cadets, this community involvement occurred less than 48 hours after removing tree debris from Long Hunter State Park as a result of the March 30, 2022 storms. And whereas approximately 30 cadets from the Mount Juliet High School program were joined by 23 cadets from the Green Hill High School program, as well as the Boy Scout Troop 150 leader and 10 of their scouts. And whereas Bob Ramsey, Pat Costanza, Keith Rowell, and Chas Spaminato joined Kathy Leedy in picking up 2,200 trees in McMinnville on April 1st, bringing them to the Mount Juliet First Baptist Church for the April 2nd distribution. And whereas this endeavor was led by retired Major Al Antilli and Command Sergeant Major Jonathan Clark for the Mount Juliet High School JROTC program, U.S. Air National Guard Lieutenant Colonel Mitch Murray and Command Sergeant Major Aaron Akla from the Green Hill High School JROTC program, and Michelle Oakley, Committee Chair for Boy Scout Troop 150. And whereas the young men and women of these programs, under the leadership and direction of those mentioned above, enthusiastically contributed to the community by assisting in this most worthwhile project. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of County Commissioners of Wilson County, Tennessee, that we hereby honor and recognize all these individuals for their commitment and dedication to their fellow citizens and community in delivering and distributing 2,200 trees on April 2nd, 2022, and thank them for their willingness to give back to their community.
Your motion to approve?
Gentlemen,
All in favor say aye.
I would like to add. I would like to ask Major Antilli and Colonel Murray and Committee Chair Oakley to introduce their guest, or their recruits or cadets or troop members or whatever.
Good evening. I'm Major Antilli with Mount Juliet High School Junior ROTC. Sergeant Major Clark and I manage the program there. Mr. Mayor, members of the commission, thank you for doing this for us tonight. I know you're very busy. You got a lot of other things to do, so I'll be brief. We really appreciate this honor. Community service is something that we take very seriously in our program, so much so that we actually program it into our curriculum. And I'm glad to see so many first responders here and law enforcement, because one of the things we emphasize is supporting those organizations, not only through community service, but by also scheduling field trips to those organizations and raising not only awareness for what they do, but also an appreciation for what they do. We also heavily emphasize community service to veterans organizations, as is reflected here with the American Legion, but we do serve the whole community, as in Long Hunter State Park. So thank you again for this honor. I'd like to introduce Sergeant Major Clark, our Marine instructor, and he's going to introduce you to 3 of our 4 top cadet leaders who will be our main leaders next year for our program.
Good evening. I want to echo the words that were mentioned, not just in this decree here, but what was mentioned previously in the other 2 presentations. Community service is the overarching theme, it seems, tonight, and I am very, very blessed to have been provided the opportunity to move from Nashville out here to Mount Juliet and raised in such a great environment. I enlisted in the Marine Corps in 1993, retired 25 years later, with the sole intention of coming back to give to the community that gave me so much growing up. Wilson County shaped me into who I wanted to be, and I'm very, very blessed to be alongside such great instructors in these great programs, not just the Mount Juliet program or the Green Hill program, but our Navy brethren at Lebanon High School and our Air Force brethren at Lebanon High School do a great, great job of fostering an environment of community service and trying to develop an environment of responsible choices and understanding what those who came before us did for us to allow us to have a free education, to drive down roads that don't have potholes in them, and to be able to go to church, to be around our brothers and sisters in our community pre, during, and post-COVID, pre, during, and post-tornadoes. Our programs are designed to, like I said, foster an environment of community service, to build better citizens. And it's so wonderful to be in a room full of people who have given up their lives and spent the majority of their adult lives doing just that. With that being said, I'd like to introduce some of our students here who, at an early on age, at 14 years old, joined our program for no other reason, just to be a better person today than they were yesterday. Our company executive officer for our next upcoming school year is our rising senior Cadet Joshua Bays. Our cadet company first sergeant is Cadet Taylor Moore, and our cadet company gunnery sergeant is Cadet Jonathan Girgis. I'm hoping that we can steal just a few minutes more of your time in order to provide an opportunity for our members here to hear from them about what our programs have done for them and what their expectations are post-graduation and how they plan on giving back to the community. With your permission.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Joshua Bays. I am a rising senior in the ROTC program. ROTC additionally develops capable and qualified not just leaders but citizens. Though it might be a military design program around a military structure, and it does benefit from that, it's not just to be an Army man to go serve in the Army. It's also to be a qualified teacher, a qualified business leader. Countless graduates from ROTC have become business leaders, high-level managers, military officers, and just well-qualified citizens. ROTC teaches about community service and how to be a better person and a more informed citizen, who your elected officials are, how government structures work, what are the three branches of government, what are your rights as a citizen, what should you do. And through ROTC, you have countless opportunities for community service. We've done many hours with the American Legion with their tree sale, but also with the AMVETS in helping to pack food for countless veterans across our county to give back to those who fell on unfortunate luck after giving their life to serve their country. So I thank you for hearing about ROTC. I'm going to introduce our cadet company first sergeant Taylor Moore.
Good afternoon. My name is Taylor Moore, and as said before, I am the upcoming cadet company first sergeant. And for ROTC, it's helped me become, like Sergeant Major said, a better person. Me starting out freshman year, I didn't talk. I would not be doing this right now. I would be cowering in a corner. But it's helped me like come out of my shell. Last year, Sergeant Major threw me on as being the drill team captain, and he helped me break out of that shell. And drill team, being that captain, it's helped me understand what being a leader is like. I didn't know anything about anything coming into this program, and then drill. It's just been like my overall development of who I am now, and it's just. Sorry, it's helped me know who I am. Like, drill is who I am, basically. It's led me to understand what being a leader is and how to become a better leader overall, in general. And me being able to teach other people with my knowledge and being able to pass that down makes me feel like I've done my duty, I guess you could say that. Now here to talk about our PT team will be Jonathan Girgis.
Good evening. My name is Jonathan Girgis. I'm a cadet in Marine Corps Junior ROTC at Mount Juliet High School. And to the point that that Cadet Taylor Moore has made, it is a program that fosters leadership. And I started out as a freshman who did not like to talk to anyone at all. However, through my experiences, through what this program has pushed me to do, being the captain of the PT team for a year has really fostered a leadership in me. Showed me how to motivate cadets, how to help them become better than they were yesterday, a better mind, body, and spirit, motivate them to not only keep going when times are tough, to keep that endurance, but to also serve our community, because that's where it all comes back to. Thank you.
Hoorah.
Did I hear a hoorah? Oh, no. I didn't hear a hoorah, I'm sure. Good evening. Lieutenant Colonel retired Mitch Murray. I'm the senior Army instructor at Green Hills, along with Sergeant Major Akla. We're the team that have tried to put this program together in the last couple of years. And Mr. Mayor, Commission, we appreciate the support that we get from you. We're an NDCC school, so we're not getting any support from Cadet Command. Everything we've gotten is from our fine friends from Marine Corps, who have, even though we jaw at each other, have brought us in as brothers. So we appreciate that. But as a mentor of mine said, once upon a time, be brief, be brilliant, be gone. So I can't echo the comments of these folks. And we've got a cadet, Sprague, one of the hardest workers we've got, slid in the back there. I wanted to recognize her. One of our purposes in life, Sergeant Major and I and these two gentlemen, are to take these children and build them into better citizens and build them into adults by the time they leave us. One of our goals is to get those cadets as freshmen who, especially over the last couple of years, have been able to hide behind a mask, would never come out, and to break them out of that shell and watch them develop into leaders. We appreciate your support, because without you guys and ladies, we couldn't do it. So once again, anytime that you would like to come speak to our cadets, the floor is yours. Open invitation. We're there from 7:30 in the morning till 4:30 in the evening, usually later than that with extracurriculars. So please don't be shy. Just come by and say hello. And once again, we appreciate your support, and just look forward to continue to grow and grow in our friendly rivalry. So, Sergeant Major, you got anything? Or? All right.
Good evening. My name is Michelle Oakley. I'm the committee chair for Troop 150, Boy Scout Troop 150 out of Mount Juliet, Tennessee. We are the oldest troop in Mount Juliet. As these gentlemen before me have said, it's about leadership. It's about growing leaders from, some of these kids in my troop have started as Cub Scouts when they were in kindergarten or first grade and have gone all the way up to earn the rank of Eagle, which is the highest rank they can earn.
Eagle Scout is impressive.
Eagle Scout is impressive. There's a lot of work involved. And again, it's about leadership. To earn the rank of Eagle Scout, they have to show that they can lead other people, other youth, other adults, speak in front of county commissions like this, which makes even some grown-ups, including me, a little bit nervous. So, and service to the community. It's built into our Scout Oath and our Scout Law, which we recite at the beginning of every meeting, so that it's built into everything they do. Every action they take is about serving the community. The American Legion Project, the American Legion is actually our charter organization, so we do as much for them as we can, including the tree sale. I appreciate the help of both the ROTC programs, because that was a lot of trees that morning. Yeah, they were all tired. I think they all went home and took a nap. I know I did. So again, we appreciate your support, and thank you for this proclamation.
Major Antilli?
Yes, sir.
Here's the official resolution.
Thank you, sir.
Copy for your group.
Thank you.
Colonel Murray, thank you very much. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your support.
Did we get the names of the two members here? Did we get those?
Sorry, this is Hayden Terry. He is our quartermaster. He has been our senior patrol leader, and this is Tyler Oakley, our current assistant senior patrol leader.
Thank you all. Thank you all for developing leaders for us. I would like to just remind you of a couple of things right quick about our next budget meeting that we have. Tomorrow night we will be pulling Mr. Tyler's resolution, special recognition, until next month, if we could slide that in. And just to talk to you a little bit about, all in favor say aye. Aye. And opposed? Thank you so much for keeping me in line.
I wasn't trying to talk behind your back. I was trying to see my history.
There's been plenty of them doing that. Thank you. Tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, we'll have the budget meeting in here. It will be filmed. Half of the committee, half of the department heads and elected officials will present their needs list tomorrow night. The committees have already accepted their status quo budget, so tomorrow night we'll just be accepting the needs list, not approving any. So half of them tomorrow night at 5 o'clock in here, the other half Wednesday night at 5 o'clock in here. We also have the pay plan rediscussion, which will be in here on Wednesday night if anybody wants to come. And if smaller groups still need further explanation on the pay plan, please let me know and we'll set those up for you. He's willing to come back anytime he needs to. Also, I will tell you that on the 23rd, Director Luttrell and all of his staff will be here. That's a Monday night at 6 o'clock, which will be in here. And please invite the Board of Education, Director Luttrell, if you will, to hear the 4 budgets that come to the Education Committee. And then on the 31st of May at 6 o'clock in here, we'll start working on granting the needs list with the Budget Committee. I will have some meetings really soon on the American Rescue Plan so that you can look at those as well as you consider what monies you want to spend out of there that maybe could take care of some of your budget needs and what money maybe that can't be spent out of there to cover that. But I want you to get a good feel and picture for all of it. Before we move on, I know it's been lengthy. Thank you for patience, but I think it's good to recognize people. Any of you at home that have to-do list that you need somebody to help you with, Commissioner Dow, of course, last day was today, Aaron, and and so he is ready and willing, as you can see that as retirement goes. We've got a song for him. Give me a little volume. The song is for you.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Who cares about the clouds if we're together?
Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather.
Happy trails to you till we meet again.
You know, so many times we spend a lot of time at a job, being serious.
That's right.
And you walk out and nobody says anything. I've seen people at the school system, for example, to spend all their life there and walk out one afternoon and nobody say a word. So thank you for your service, putting your life on the line for us for the years that you've done that. We appreciate you, not only as a commissioner, but as an emergency service personnel here for us. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, 34 years. And you know what? I think this right here was taken, gosh, it was a long time ago. And I ain't changed. Now, wait a minute. But several of y'all have retired, and you've changed.
Molly points at Diane. Commissioner Stafford.
Yes, sir. If we'd known this 34 years ago, maybe he had a granddaughter, that's what changed his whole life. When that granddaughter came, she made a difference. So if we'd known that, we could have helped that out a little sooner.
Congratulations on retirement. Mr. Goodall, any other names to be added to the notary list? Do I hear a motion to approve of notaries?
Motion approved.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. And opposed? E911 Board, there are 3 members that I would like to suggest for you to reappoint to that board for a 4-year term. Upon your approval of that, Mr. David Hale, Mr. Jeff Tunks, and Mr. Bobby Howard.
Motion to approve.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. And opposed? Library Board members, you're to elect 1 to serve a 3-year term to the Wilson County Library Board. Per your recommendation of this board, I'd like to recommend Mr. Michael Stoffel, if I could, to elect and replace Mr. Jim Mills. A recommendation was placed in your packet. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Report from the Emergency Management Committee, Commissioner Glover.
No report.
And Emergency Management Director's report, Director Cooper.
Chairman, County Commissioners, in your packet, you'll see our numbers and activity report. These are running about normal for this time of year. We are maintaining the best we can with what resources we have available to us right now. And I guess from there, I don't have anything wrote down because I want to speak from the heart. You have the budget process coming up. I've been with WEMA for 33 years. This is the worst we have ever been. We're still 26 positions down, facing station closures, equipment down. I know the rest of the state has problems, but we're the worst in this county, and it's being seen by the public, it's being seen by me, and I hope it's being seen by you. So as we go through this budget process, I hope you will take that into consideration when you go through the needs, because these men and women deserve it. They have been through a stressful time from 2020 till today, and a lot of them need help, physically and mentally. So I want you to know that, how I feel, and I'm speaking on behalf of my people, and not only them, I want to speak on behalf of all county employees. They all deserve to be competitive in this market. That concludes my report unless there's any questions.
Any discussion? Any questions? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you, Director Cooper. Report from Law Enforcement Committee, Commissioner Ash.
No report.
And Sheriff's report, Chief Mike Owen. Namaste.
Evening, Mayor, Commissioners. Congratulations to all primary winners. Yes. Be humble in victory, determined in defeat. Activity report for the Sheriff's Office month of April. A lot of positives here tonight, which we haven't had before in a while. Calls for service are way down. Officer-initiated checks have been down. Traffic enforcement location, Commissioner Weathers. We went from 140 in March down to 27 new in April. So the one traffic officer we have now, he's doing a fine job. The one we have, and let's hope after July we get another that maybe we can stay on top of this, okay? Because there are several complaints. State warrants, way down. That's kind of confusing. Consider the incident reports we have. I don't understand or know why we're not receiving state warrants, but I guess that is a good thing. I'm not talking just about the Sheriff's Office, but I'm talking about Watertown, Lebanon, and Mount Juliet. The calls are there and the incident reports are there, but the warrants are not there. and I don't know how to answer that. Civil warrants served, civil warrants that are received. Of course, they were down substantially from last month as well. The best part about this is the jail population. We've been maintaining for the past 2 weeks at under 400. We've had a lot of state inmates that's shipped out, so we're maintaining it at below a 400 count, which is great, and it's really helping those guys out there a lot. So those are the positives. I'm going to have to talk about a couple negative things here, okay? And it's going to affect all of us, I'm afraid to say. We're down to the point in correction with correctional officers that it's become a safety issue. We do not have the positive officer-inmate ratio that we need. So, Mr. Smith, Quentin, we did our best to get out to help you with the problems you had this week. And we were also able to sneak out and help with the senior citizens yard sale to get that cleaned up, our work buses. But commissioners, our work buses and our litter crew, they're done for a while. Okay, I've had to pull them all in. All right, so I know you're probably going to get some calls about the litter, and I understand that. We're doing the best we can to maintain a safe facility back there, and this is the first step. And the second step might be the chief, assistant chief, and major and captain. They'll take their turn once a week working a shift back there if we have to. It's part of the job, okay? I wear a badge. We all wear a badge. That's what we do, all right? But I would hate for it to get to that point. But if it does, it's okay. We're maintaining. I really want to get the work buses and crews back up as soon as we can. I know Quentin needs a lot of help out there at the fairgrounds. We have the Cumberland graduation and stuff that just passed, and there's just some other things going on that they're really needed, and the litter crews really needed this time of year too. So hopefully we can get that worked out. We're down 4 dispatchers. Okay, we're maintaining that. We've had to pull 3 patrol deputies in to help fill this void till we can get some dispatchers hired and trained. So the positive was the costs for service are down, the warrants are down, the civil process and civil warrants are down, and that's helped us out. That's helped us out. It was a big blessing this past month, considering what we're kind of going through. That concludes the report, Sheriff's Office report for April. Do you have any questions?
Hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you, Chief Owen. Report from Education Committee, Commissioner Stafford.
Mr. Chair, fellow commissioners, the Education Committee met on May 5th, 5 p.m. in the upstairs conference room. The minutes are presented before you. If there are no questions, I move they be received and filed.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Director of Schools report, Director Jeff Luttrell.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. You have my report with you. First thing I want to discuss is in regular session on May the 2nd, you have some items we covered in regular board meeting. Probably and did do a rezoning to take care of some overcrowding at Gleyville Elementary, moving those students and their families to Rutland, where we have some space that will help us a little bit with some of the overcrowding there. Also, you have the enrollment update, and let me say we're in a much better position today. Of course, as we're closing out the school year and careers of our seniors, we'll have 7 graduations going on between now and next Tuesday night, and we're excited to celebrate with those students, present their diplomas. But as I think back on my tenure, we're in much better shape than I stand here tonight than it was in August with all that we were facing. And again, I commend our staff, our teachers, our parents, our communities for making sure that we've had a successful year. And I think when all the data comes in, we'll see another great year in Wilson County schools. Our attendance, and I know I harp on that, but I believe that's where it all begins. For the year, we're still sitting at 93.6%. That's phenomenal in our attendance in our schools, so we're proud of that. I've included several things, making mention of some teachers. I do want to personally thank on the commission floor tonight Mr. Mark Wooten He's chosen as Wilson County Teacher of the Year. He's been a carpentry instructor at Lebanon High School for years. He's been around as long as I can remember. He's been a staple at that school and has done a lot of projects for people in the community. And he was chosen at the banquet that was for the annual Teacher of the Year. And so we're super proud of him. If you see him, make sure you congratulate him. Also, retirees. We celebrated last week with 48 of our employees have chosen to retire. I'm going to give you a stat. That's 840 years of experience in the education business. That's a lot. A lot of dedicated people. We're thankful for them and wish them the best. Speaking of retirement, I need bus drivers. I know me and you've talked, so I'll let
Already
you,
recruited him.
I'll let you pick your hours. I'll even let you pick your route. You can work morning or evening if you want to come help us out. But we are excited for those people that have spent and dedicated their lives to teaching students. You see the Pepsi-Cola scholarships from each school. I mentioned those. And the rest of the report, you're going to see a lot of, I've included for you the success of our student organizations and the opportunities we offer them in our CTE programs, from Skills USA to DECA to FCCLA to FFA, FBLA, multiple individual state champions this year, multiple team state champions. They'll be competing, many of our students and our teams and our sponsors will be traveling this summer to various places, compete at the national level. And that's one of the things I'm most proud about is some of the opportunities that we have. Just recently, I know you've seen some reports, we've started one of our programs. It's kind of just came out of one of our programs. What we're doing with repair and the Dale Repair program we have at our high schools where they repair our devices. FedEx has got involved, and I know some students, there have been some TV stories on it, that will not be looking for further education, will be entering the job force. And I was just so excited to see these young people have already secured a job with FedEx, full benefits, just they're waiting to get started. So that's one of the programs that we fund, and there's many more like that. So you're getting some highlights of that. I encourage you to look through them. Many of them are your constituents, and there's students in your district. So if you see them, we've had a lot of success with these. Just an update on our construction project. Stoner Creek is bricks up, a lot of the roof's on. If you've been by there, I encourage you to go by. Just don't go down into that site. They even get on me when I go down there for safety purposes, I guess. But they're making tremendous progress, and so we're excited for that. West Wilson Middle School was bid this past week. We opened that bid, and that was accepted by the Board of Education. Just finished that meeting before we came over here. We'll be bringing that to you, the education budget in June. Our next regular scheduled board meeting will be on June the 6th, and with a work session on June the 2nd, and we will be back over here next week to present your budget. We just finished that up, it was approved by the board, and so we're excited for that as we go through this process. Any questions?
Move the report be received and filed. Second.
Discussion, Commissioner Vanatta.
Yes, Mr. Lovetalk, do you have an approximate number of students that will be graduating from the 7 high schools?
Oh, I don't. I'd have to figure it up. It all runs together. But we was thinking about that today. You're pushing, what, 5,000? Maybe more than that. Or no, that's total enrollment. So 400 for 4 big ones, 1,600. You're pushing 2,800 that we'll be celebrating with, and we're excited for that. Plus our other programs, our adult program. Just today, I do know that number, over 175 students. That's huge for this community, and even our GED program, we promote it all. I'm going to celebrate with them, and that's just as important. I heard today about a report of a 54-year-old citizen who has obtained her high school diploma. Also heard a report of a family that's moved in here and their whole family that was able to go through our program, and we probably don't give that. That program is not offered in a lot of counties. So I'm a big proponent of that, and the opportunities it gives those people that are citizens. So we'll be celebrating with them tomorrow night. We'd encourage you to come because that's a big event. High school graduation is a milestone regardless of the avenue or when it happens, and we want to celebrate with them in that.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Thank you, Director Luttrell.
Thank you.
Report from the Public Works Committee, Commissioner Weathers.
Mr. Chairman, the Public Works Committee met here at the courthouse Monday, April 11th at 6 p.m. The minutes are in your packet, and I move that be received and filed.
Got a motion second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Committee reports here. Ag Center Management, Commissioner Scruggs.
Ag Management met April 19th. Minutes in your packet be received and filed.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Animal Control, Commissioner Marlowe.
Animal Control met in regular session Thursday, May 5th, 5 p.m. upstairs conference room. Minutes are in your packet. I move they be received and filed.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Audit, Commissioner Bernard.
No report.
Broadband, Commissioner Franklin.
No report.
Development Tourism, Commissioner Vanatta.
Development and Tourism met on Monday, April the 25th. The minutes are in your packet. I move that they be received and filed.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Ethics, Commissioner Ash.
No report.
Finance, Commissioner Gentry.
No report. I don't think. Let me see. You got a finance committee minutes in there.
I think so.
Yeah, there's minutes in there from April 21st. You met.
Okay, I'm sorry. We met on April 21st. Minutes are in your package. I request, make a motion we receive and file.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Health and Recreation, Commissioner Patton.
You have 3 sets of minutes in your packet, one for the meeting on April the 12th, one for the meeting of April the 14th that lasted 5 hours, one for the meeting on May the 2nd. Motion to be received and filed.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Insurance, Commissioner Ash.
No report.
Judicial, Commissioner Glover.
No report.
Planning and Zoning, Commissioner McFarland.
Planning and Zoning met on April the 19th at 6 p.m. Move the minutes be received and filed, and don't forget about our workshop next week.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Rules, Commissioner Gentry.
No report.
Urban Type Facility Board, Commissioner Scruggs.
Urban Type Facility Board met May the 6th. Minutes in your packet be received and filed.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Financial Director's Report, Mr. Aaron Maynard.
I don't have much for you this evening. The finance report's in your packet, and I always tell you about sales tax and where we are revenue-wise, and I will remind you that May and June are 2 of the slower revenue months we have, so when you see that, yes, we're still solidly in the black at the end of April, remember May and June, revenues will be down, expenses will be about the same, and so we'll see where we land when it's all said and done. I believe strongly it'll be in the black. But I did want to, I got a message from a commissioner today seeking clarification on a budget amendment 22-5-2. What we're doing with that one, this is the $3,750,000 that we were paying out of the general fund to upgrade the radio system. Since that has now been blessed by the Horn Group, we're going to actually pay those expenditures out of Fund 127. So the general fund will be reimbursed. 127, by the way. Fund 127 is the American Rescue Plan Fund. So we'll be paying those expenditures out of the American Rescue Plan Fund, and we're basically reversing everything out of the general fund. We don't want those expenditures to show. And when you look at this report that has all the nice red numbers on it, that will add back $3,750,000 to your fund balance report, which will bring it back up to $19,251,664. So I hope that explains what we're doing with that particular one. If anybody has any questions about that or anything else, I'll be happy to entertain them at this time. I will, if you'll allow me, I'm sorry, one last thing. Commissioner Dow and I are both class of '88. So if you look at him, you can see what a career in public service will do for you. This is what a career in public finance will do for you.
Now do I hear a motion to approve his report?
Don't move.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Maynard always keeps us laughing. Report from the Budget Committee, Commissioner Marlowe.
Budget Committee had a workshop on May 2nd, and the committee met again on May 5th. The minutes are in your packet. I move they be received and filed.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Resolutions, Commissioner Marlowe.
had to get old.
And that's what you look like, a teacher in education.
Being in education for 42 years will get you too.
Get you on down there.
Okay, Resolution 22-5-2. To amend the budget and appropriation resolution for, to make an appropriation from APR fund into general fund.
I'll move.
Second.
Any discussion? Commissioner Glover?
I was going to ask it earlier, did you say 127 is the ARP fund?
That's correct.
Should that be debit out of that going into the fund balance?
I'm sorry, sir. Let's see. So 127, when you reduce fund balance in a budget amendment, you're actually looking in a mirror. So a debit is actually a reduction of fund balance in budget world. It's bizarro world. It's backwards.
That's why he looks like he does.
That's it.
Any other questions? Are we good? Commissioner, we good? Any other questions? Are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Mr. Breeze? All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 21 yes, 4 absent. Resolution passes.
Resolution 22-5-3, to amend the budget and appropriation resolutions and make an additional appropriation from Animal Control Reserve Fund to Animal Control.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote.
Hit the darn thing twice.
Mr. All hearts and minds good for your vote? Please record. 21 yes, 4 absent. Resolution passes.
Resolution 22-5-4, to amend the budget and appropriation resolution by approving Wilson County Board of Education Budget Amendment 2022-11.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 21 yes, 4 absent. Resolution passes.
Resolution 22-5-5, to amend the budget and appropriation resolution by approving Wilson County Board of Education Budget Amendment 2022-10.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. Do what now? She can make that correction. 21 yes, 4 absent. Resolution passes.
Resolution 22-5-6, to amend the budget and appropriation resolutions to make an additional appropriation from general fund into veteran services.
Move to approve. Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 21 yes, 4 absent. Resolution passes.
Resolution 22-5-7, to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an appropriation from general fund into WEMA.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Bishop, thank you. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 21 yes, 4 absent. Resolution passes.
Resolution 22-5-8, to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an additional appropriation in line item transfers in property assessor.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Jones? Commissioner Jones? All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 21 yes, 4 absent. Resolution passes.
Resolution 22-5-9 to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an appropriation from general fund to PEG channel.
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote?
I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Just put in the consent agenda since it's only $750. I thought anything under $2,500 went into consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor, Mike.
I can answer that
Yep.
for you. I just noticed as he started reading that I missed that. Straight line item transfer, according to the budget amendment request form, so you can still vote on it, but it's not an appropriation, it's a line item transfer.
Okay, I thought he was calling me Mr. Mayor, and that kind of scared me too.
Any other discussion? Are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Commissioner Kurtz? All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 21 yes, 4 absent. Resolution passes.
When you say this, we'll correct that tomorrow and get it to Saunders so it shows that in the minutes. It'll be there forever and ever.
Thank you.
Sorry I missed that.
That's okay, no problem.
Resolution 22-5-10 to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an appropriation from general fund to finance.
Motion.
Discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Mr. Dow? All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 21, 4 absent. Resolution passes.
Resolution 22-5-11 to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an appropriation from general fund to finance.
Motion.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. Mr. Gentry? All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 21 yes, 4 absent. Resolution passes.
Resolution 22-5-20 to amend the budget and appropriation resolution to make an appropriation from Ag Center Fund 124 into Ag Center.
Motion.
Any discussion? Seeing none, are you ready to vote? Please cast your vote. All hearts and minds good with your vote? Please record. 21 yes, 4 absent. Resolution passes.
Mr. Mayor, if I can just say one thing here, I want to commend Aaron Maynard and the HR department for all they've done concerning the pay plan. But I do hope the pay plan presentation is not more of the same when they return. The proposed pay plan report needs to be uncomplicated and very easy for everyone to understand. I hope you will please let them know that.
Any old business to come before this body? Commissioner Dow.
You sent, I guess somebody sent an email out about the Quarries donating money to 3 different organizations in Wilson County. Is that you that did that? I received a letter, and they're willing to give money, I guess, to 3 different organizations. We're not accepting that money, right?
I sent a letter by approval of Mayor Jennings here back to them. It said it was unethical for them to give money to us since we were involved in a lawsuit. And the mayor okayed that for me to send, and so I did send that to him. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Commissioner Fields?
Yes, I just want to make everybody aware that this week is Armed Forces Week, so those of us who have served, give a veteran a thank you. Commissioner Ash, Commissioner McFarland, Commissioner Gentry, probably some others that I've overlooked, but thank you.
Commissioner Patton.
I'd like to inform everyone that the Woodman Life organization I belong to will be serving meals to all the veterans in Wilson County, May the 19th at the fairground in the Veterans Building. And if we'd like to come on out and be a part of that, the veterans.
Commissioner Glover.
If we have any money left over in the budget, do you think we can replace the projector?
Yes. Need a higher lumen projector right here on this screen.
The older Chris Dow gets, the harder it is for him to see.
In that regard, we'll get it replaced by next month. Any other old business to come before this body? How about new business? I just need one more motion to adjourn. We are adjourned.